we have Karen Mills Jennings, who is approaching the microphone. And she began her community engagement days from a stroller with her mom in Southeast Oakland County in the late 1950s. Being active in the community was part of family life. She has been a resident of Genesee County for 46 years and was artistic director of the dance program at the Flynn Institute of Music until her retirement 3 years ago. During her time at the FIM, she was also the coordinator of non-tuition-based programming and a key part in developing their groundbreaking outreach transition program, Super Saturdays. Since retirement, Karen has become more aware of the discontent of young voters. After lots of conversations with young community members and researching what they were sharing, she realized this crucial part of our county is not being heard or taken seriously by our government. Using her experience in working with young people for over 50 years, she designed The Floor Is Yours, a reverse talk-back event to give Gen Z and millennial voters a chance to be heard, and then shared with elected officials and policymakers. So it's with pleasure to have Karen with us today.
I'm excited to be here. I am not an experienced speaker. My communication has really primarily been through movement. So I have prepared remarks, which you will appreciate, rather than me rambling. So thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited about this project. I've been working on this since the last election, which was eye-opening for me, and I voted for a long time, but still. I am grateful for the support and workshopping from Indivisible Flint, Genesee County, Indivisible Johnson County, Iowa City, Iowa being another story. Also SIPI Incorporated, and Holly Wilson with Michigan United. So what have I learned about young American voters? I've learned that young voters from the Millennial and Gen Z generations are emerging as the demographic center of power in American politics. Yet new studies find they are fatalistic about critical problems such as economic inequality, climate change, and the future of democracy. Research is finding the values of Gen Z and millennial voters across political spectrum are converging toward agreement on key issues. Both young liberals and young conservatives want effective government action to solve challenges and appear to share a belief that fractured, dysfunctional government systems are incapable of addressing critical challenges that fall heavily on this generation. According to researchers, this sense of fatalism extends across the right, left, and center. If we want to encourage this crucial demographic, we must listen, learn, and believe what they have to say. These The Floor Is Yours sessions will invite and encourage these young voters to tell us their truths. Unlike online surveys or focus groups, an in-person sharing allows us to be a witness to the challenges these young voters are experiencing. I believe it's important to provide a safe environment where individuals can feel supported to share. 4 different locations have been chosen to provide welcoming environment throughout the demographics of Genesee County. This means a Flint Community Center, a familiar downtown location, southern part of Genesee County, and the northern. Facilitators will greet and present the format. Initial questions have been carefully selected to promote sincere sharing, not manipulated responses. There will be no feedback on what is shared, nor will interrupting be permitted. It is a listening session with facilitators recording the responses. We will confirm their voices are important, and we hear their concerns and their frustrations. We will acknowledge that their experiences are true and important. To support, a sincere listening environment. Our format will be: participants are welcomed as they arrive, simple refreshments are available, and the sharing space will be in a circle. Questions will be shared via a handout on a clipboard ahead of time, giving our participants time to reflect and organize their thoughts before sharing. An overview of the reverse talk-back format will be shared, and we will confirm participants' commitment to that process. Staff facilitating the sessions will be united in supporting our participants in that format. Each participant is supported in their time to share. There is no interrupting. Each response will be no longer than 5 minutes. We'll go through the group with question 1 and follow up with question 2. Our sessions are voice recorded to facilitate sharing participants' responses with policymakers and elected officials. So the questions. We encourage you to reflect on what is the most pressing issue for you as a young voter. Easy question, right? There's one. And then our follow-up question, what is your vision for the leadership of our country? The participants are then invited to come together as a community. That's not required. It's their choice. Information and resources about community engagement will be available through Michigan United, and this engagement is optional. Recorded statements will be organized as data to be shared with policymakers, elected officials, and voting advocates. Participants may choose to sign up for further information on ways to participate in elections, public policy, and community engagement. So what is the research telling us about why they are so frustrated and angry? When I have conversations with young voters, including our own kids, they are sick of hearing about the American dream, because that dream doesn't exist for them. So areas of frustration: cost of living, housing. I found this information interesting. Although incomes have been consistent over the last 55 years, the cost of education and healthcare has exploded, making it very difficult for Gen Z and Millennials to purchase a home. According to the National Association of Realtors, the share of first-time home buyers hit a record low of 21%, while the average age of a first-time homeowner has climbed to 40 years old. Yes. Today's first-time home buyers are building less housing, wealth, or equity than previous generations. Healthcare. The cost of healthcare, as we know, remain a major challenge. In a survey of 600 working Americans participating in an employee-sponsored healthcare, 84% of Gen Z employees report concern about the economy, the highest of any current generation. Young workers are twice as likely to say that financial stress affects their ability to focus and perform well at work. In addition, a study done by Experian Health found 74% of millennials and 56% of Gen Z patients have canceled a healthcare appointment due to cost. The data highlights the tragic state of healthcare in the United States, placing tremendous burden on these generations. And then engagement. Most Americans are not regular voters. Even across the 3 most recent national elections, which featured higher than normal turnout, just 41% of adults who are old enough to vote voted in all 3, and 26% didn't vote at all. Young adults are especially likely to have sat out multiple elections. Just 16% of those old enough to have voted in all 3 did so, and 41% didn't vote at all. As a group, these tens of millions of young Americans face risks that older generations can scarcely imagine. Extreme economic inequality, climate change, and warp speed technological change that is shaking political and economic stability not only in the U.S. but throughout the world. More and more research is telling us these crucial voters feel neglected and ignored. My goal for The Floor is Yours is to give our young community an opportunity to feel heard and to hopefully gain confidence to demand policymakers acknowledge their concerns. I encourage you to grab a flyer with the registration QR code and share it with a Gen Z or Millennial family member or part of your community. Please encourage them to attend and have an opportunity to use their voice. Thank you very much for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity to share and continue your really great work. Thank you.